This is incredibly important on a bipartisan level to be able to both understand not only the threat, but talk about some real solutions behind this. I know each of you have worked in this in a really incredible way. We all know that with each passing day, our adversaries are continuing to shift their dominance, particularly in the cyberspace. And the threat posed is not just from state actors, it's down to criminal elements, lone wolf actors, as well as some really advanced technology like artificial intelligence that's starting to play in this space. In the last 3 years alone, we've seen a 15% increase in ransomware. And for the average, main business, that's a $4 million chunk out of your paycheck, which means that it has a trickle-down effect on the entire economy. This is a billion-dollar problem that we're addressing, and that's just starting with what's happening right now. Look, as a former counterintelligence officer, and I've had the privilege of working with some of you in this realm before, we have to address the threat as it continues to evolve. And one of those things is looking at groups, Madam Chairwoman, like Volt Typhoon, coming out of the communist element within China, where they've offloaded into a proxy element the ability to go after this while holding themselves not accountable for their bad actors. The truth of cyber warfare is when it's rooted in the idea that this is a situation of a when this attack occurs, not if this attack occurs, and we have to be an all-hands-on-deck approach to it. So with it, I want to highlight some of the things that we are trying to address, and I appreciate those of you who have helped weigh in on our Public and Private Ransomware Response Coordination Act to address some of the issues we're coming up with today. So I'd like to get into it. Megan, we've gotten to work together before, but Ms. Stuffel, one of the things I want to talk about first is share with us a little bit about ransomware as a service, the background on how this is and how it really empowers people with a very minimal level skill set to perpetrate something that's very dangerous to all of us.
Thank you for the question, Congressman, and for your ongoing service to the country. Ransomware as a service, as a business model, has become a major problem in this space. As Ms. Walden identified, it is far too easy for someone with very little capability to be able to procure, oftentimes on the dark web, a set of capabilities that allows them to leverage access, in many cases, that someone else has obtained in a network to deploy a set of malware that has probably been developed by yet a third person. So we have, it's almost like a spider web where you have different actors who, many of whom may not have much sophistication, piecing together the number of vulnerabilities that are resident in our ecosystem in order to have an outsized impact on our economy. Many cases, these actors don't know each other, but as Ms. Walden also identified, they do communicate with each other. So we need to be able to facilitate access to all of the information that both public and private sector have on these threat actors' communications in order to begin to better prepare ourselves to take action. The ransomware as a service business model also leverages capabilities in cloud service providers and other types of bulletproof hosters. Many of these bulletproof hosters are in jurisdictions outside our reach, so to speak. Nonetheless, though, those jurisdictions are partners and may have relationships with some of our partners. I think about the Counter-Ransomware Initiative, which has now grown to over 50 countries and organizations. This collective effort could be a great tool to leverage with appropriate resources, the ability to take and put pressure on these threat actors who are living in safe havens. And so I think there's an opportunity there for Congress to consider resourcing, as I've been saying, departments and agencies to boost our support to our Counter-Ransomware Initiative peers to begin to extend our net overseas.
Fully agree on this. Thank you both for your work in this area. One of the things I want to highlight here is that those who are on the front line, and Ms. Burns-Coven, I'm going to come to you next here, is that it's our private sector folks around the world who are addressing this. In my home district of Iowa, public schools got hit with ransomware. That as soon as one was hit, they used that same technique to hit the next one, and the next one, and the next one, to a point where not only is it costing taxpayers money, we're breaching critical information about our kids. Look, in this bill, we're focused on threat detection, rate of information sharing, response time, and threat suppression. Talk to us a little bit about, in your experience, how partnerships like that can really help learn from the private sector to help the public sector.
Thank you for your question. Information sharing is so critical in these spaces in getting information to law enforcement to identify, track these payments, and disrupt them, but also to prevent future victims from falling prey to attack. In my experience, the best public-private sector collaborations have involved dynamic bi-directional sharing. It sounds simple, but it is radical for some agencies to engage in this culturally different practice And we've had stunning successes. We've been able to freeze North Korean stolen funds, ransomware payments from the Colonial Pipeline because of the collaboration.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My time has
Thank you.
expired. I appreciate the work that all of you are doing in this field. Thank you.
Ms. Coburn, feel free to submit